All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert Global Lab patch notes for August 22nd. So, with that said, we have a bunch of new stuff coming out. Pretty exciting. We got some more balance changes and, some cool stuff to talk about, like treasure items. But yeah, with the Dania's release, that actually makes things a lot easier. And for me, I wish they would release things like week after week, I wish like the Sovereign Offhand was released on August 6th, and then we had like one step at a time instead of just here's a Dania and everything. But now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about some balance changes and everything else that's coming out. So first of all, we have a lot of character changes and classes. We made further adjustments in PvE and Monster Zone reworks. Thank God, because Dark Knight is, Dark Knight's actually getting buffed for the first time in like 3 years. That's amazing. Okay, so anyway, I assume a lot of these are more just PvE damage number changes and not so much like tweaking the entire skill entirely. So we're just going to see a majority of numbers being increased. So Warrior Awakening numbers increased. That's good. Succession Ranger. Well, not really Succession. It just says main. So all these damage numbers, and then more damage numbers. Actually, how is Swork these days? I don't really see a lot of them, but last time I heard they're like, in just an okay spot. So glad to see that's happening. Zerker. What do Zerkers really still need? Do they need more damage numbers? I don't think so, but who knows? I guess they're just trying to balance it with Adania ever since they made the change after like 310 AP. You know how everything just scales extremely high? I think they're just kind of tweaking that. Musa, Ninja, Kuno. Admittedly, a lot of these are just damage number increases, so there's not really much to talk about, and I don't really know some of the classes, but let's see. Dark Knight. All right. Execution, that's a good one. Wheel of Fortune. That actually seems like a big change, so that Wheel of Fortune's a good one. Comma Slash. Pretty good. Basically all of these, so main and awakening. These don't seem like as big of a tweaks as you would think, but I mean, more is better, so I guess everyone is happy here. I don't think any class got any nerfs, they're all just buffs up, so I think we don't have to panic today. This is overall a good thing, even if the damage numbers are minimal changes. That's cool. Sages. That's interesting. I know we all hate Sage right now because it's kind of overtuned, but like their PvE damage is on the lower side, even though they have a great kit for everything else. So I think these are actually justified. Like, I'm looking at these numbers right here, and yeah, I think some of those are good. All right, well, all of those just seemed like buffs for everyone. All right, so here's the new treasure item that's coming out, and it's kind of like, how do I describe it? Just new scenery for your grind spots. So let's see what they say. Is this flavor text? So when you're grinding in spots, you'll collect a paint and then a special material for a specific zone, and they only drop in spots that are 300 plus or like 300 plus AP, and drop rates are, probably treasure items amount of low, so that's how to get people to grind more. So cannot be currently confirmed in a Black Desert. So basically this is a not confirmed, but what it might look like. So like if you grind a certain spot, then you get a paint, and then your whole grind zone. I assume this works only in the Marnie realm because it's like private, and that's where you can change it. But let me see. Allowing you to obtain treasure materials only available in certain hunting grounds. You get the new icon. When you defeat a monster in the hunting ground, you would obtain treasure materials, and then Paint of Histria, for example. Charge points to change the landscape. Do they have like a... Okay, so do they have like a little GIF or something of how this actually works? Because like I like the idea, because I've always said this in like my other grind videos where the scenery actually does matter in various grind spots, simply because, for example, grinding in Kama Sylvia felt really nice because everything was like green, nature, colorful, like mentally nice. But then grinding spots like Ulakita or Valencia, you're just looking at deserts all day, or if you're grinding somewhere in a cave, it's just dark. So I think this is actually one of those things that I'm gonna go grind certain spots for. And yeah, I think this is a good thing, assuming it works as I think it does. So let's see. Once you get the thing from a grind spot, you use whatever material, and then you change the background kind of like that. It seems like a good idea, but it also seems like it only works in, Marnie realms, because those are private. Otherwise, the main, overworld, you can't just change that from one person. Okay, so does not apply in party hunting grounds. That makes sense. When you are in a party. Yeah. Kind of as expected. So, like, I like the idea of this. It seems really cool. But they don't have any, like, videos or, like, GIFs to show, like, how it actually works yet. So we'll see, but it's coming out next week. So start grinding your favorite spots. Number one spot I feel like is going to be looked at is probably like Olin's, Dark Seekers, a lot of Ulakita spots, maybe places with caves, and Valencia. Okay, so the Jinbon Wan Lifeskill Crystals that were announced at the Huddle Ball are now in game. They basically raised the mastery cap to 3,000, and I think that's good, actually. Like, well, it was 2,000 before, right? And then like 2,000 before, and then after they made the big changes is 3,000. So I think it's going to be a lot easier to hit like 2,500, 2,800-ish easier without spending a lot of silver on it. So unlocks when you equip a pre-owned accessory. So yeah, it's kind of like Sovereign or like Karazad in a way. Like the Karazad accessories, this is the Lifeskill version of it. So I think that's overall good. Silver embroider clothes previously used for life XP will be removed, and you'll basically get silver out of it. So that's good. Yeah, we kind of knew this already, but they're just telling us it's coming next week. Jinbon Wan, Life XP, and then Life Mastery. Well, actually, no, these are... let me see. Okay, so Jin, 15%. Let's be real, it's going to cap out at 7.5 for quite a while, and then maybe like a year or two down the line from now, it might sink down to like 3-4 billion, but it's going to be expensive no matter what. No big deal. But yeah, I think for quite a while it's going to be hard capped. Yeah, and then 8 and 4 for Bon and Wan. I think that's fair enough. Like 15% life XP is actually pretty good, especially for all of you new players. What would I use life EXP on? Cooking, because it'll allow you to get to Guru faster, and also that means like you'll be able to do Imperial deliveries and then just alchemy, cooking a lot easier, and then start getting max, efficiency. So overall good. Especially for all of you sailors and barters out there, this is in theory going to help, and because those are very hard. And one thing I hope works on it would probably be training, because training is kind of tedious actually, and that would be nice. All right, so how do you make it? 1 Essence of Dawn, 30 Trace of Nature, and 500 Magical Light Stones. And then, so this makes 1 of these, and then a couple of those equals that. So, okay, so it tells you how to make certain ones. So you need 5 of these to create 1 bond, and then 5 bonds to make a gin. Math checks out. All right, very cool. Silver embroidered clothes trainers have been deleted, and you'll be getting silver as of next week. So if you have +5s, you get that like gins for free, and these will all get deleted. So I have a lot of +3s already, and okay, like ultimately, even if you don't have +5, it's not a big deal. Like, these are all very easy to get materials. I think the hardest thing you can, or not hardest, but the most time consuming, will probably be these, the magic lightstone crystals, because everything else, I think all of you should have literally tens of thousands of Trace of Nature. Essence of Dawn, just do your boss splits weekly, and then you're good to go. And that's probably 125 or 120-ish, I believe, Essence of Dawn. So like around, yeah, I mean, the math checks out. So like ultimately, it makes sense. Okay. Let's see, what else are they doing? Growth support. Get more rewards, fail stacks. And this is what they talked about. Everyone is getting a free try Fallen God armor. And here's what I would say for all of you guys. Get the shoes, because those are probably the hardest ones to get. Shoes followed by the helm, because grinding, what is it? Jade Starlight Forest is kind of tedious. It's not the worst. And the gloves, you can literally, well, actually, no. I might take the gloves if you don't like doing the story quest or the main story, because that requires you to do the entire Land of the Morning Light 1 quest line to do. But in terms of like difficulty, so like if you're a player that actually needs all of this, shoes first, followed by helm if you don't like grinding, or gloves if you don't like doing questing. And then the armor, chances are most people have at least 1 of them at this point. So that's what I would do. But if you already have all 4 and you're like an endgame player, what would I do? Just take like, if you're full DR, take 1 evasion piece. If you're evasion, take the DR one. But like if you're end game player, in about a month from now, all of us will have all 4 pieces of Adania gear, and all of these are literally irrelevant. So yeah. All right, so Tuvala, going to deck. These are what the stats are. And how to enhance. All right, so they're changing some zones from the new Adania region. The AP requirement is 350. However, this made it difficult for adventurers using the Sovereign. Okay, so this is the weekly boss. I have a video of it. I did it yesterday, actually. During development, we balanced the boss Jordine and the monster's DP around Pen Blackstar. However, this has made the fight more difficult for adventurers using the Sovereign sub-weapon. I literally did this yesterday with my Sovereign. Wait, hold on. Did they mean to put this around this one? Did they mean like Sovereign? They designed it with Sovereign, and then if you didn't have a Sovereign, like you had a Black Star, did they mean the other way around? Because I don't know. That just seems kind of weird. Since Sovereign is straight up just better. I think a Pen Black Star is the equivalent of a base, or at least try, or duo something. No, either way. Yeah, Sovereign should always be better, so I don't know why it was made it more difficult. We adjusted the DP with the Sovereign, can take on a challenge as well. Oh. Well, if you guys need help with that boss, basically, you just watch the video. I didn't really know what I was doing for the first time either. I just kind of, when in doubt, iframe things, and that's it. Anyway, so glad that's being tweaked. I'm not gonna lie, this boss is annoying for different reasons. Not that it's difficult. It's annoying because there's a lot of stuff on the screen, and I feel like someone's gonna have a seizure doing that. Like there's just flashing lights everywhere. Okay, so the following titles can be obtained through the Adania main quest. Adventurers who have completed it will obtain titles. Yeah, I did it all on yesterday, day 1, and I would say it took me about like 2-3 hours total. So it'll probably take you more if you're like fully watching all the cutscenes and everything. But like I was just kind of speed reading through it, and 2 to 3 hours. A buff application status effect has been applied. You can now check it from your information. This looks cool, but I'm going to have to wait till it comes to the live servers because I can't read that. Added the ability to recruit, setting a minimum AP through the party finder. Holy dude, I've been saying that for like years now to update the party finder UI, and they're doing it. Good lord. Maybe they watched my video. This is good. Here's the thing though. Because a lot of things have AP caps that aren't actually shown, and the ones that people use the party finder for are like party group spots, Ataraxian, and like the weekly Black Shrine party bosses. The party bosses are actually AP capped. They don't tell you what that number is, but I think I read somewhere that was like data mined between like 1,300 or something. So like people saying, oh, you have to be like 370 to do party bosses. Like you can do fine at like 330 and up, but there's always going to be the people that are like, yeah, we want like max gear. But the thing is that max gear is minimally going to affect you. Like here's the thing, at endgame, what people are going to be using, they're going to swap out some of their damage for defensives, or, you know, attack speed, which is good, obviously. But is it going to cut down your clear time from like 5 minutes to 2 minutes? No. So just watch out for that. Everything you do in a party group is like, it's still AP capped. So even if you see like an Olin's party go up, where it's like, we're looking for people who are 390 AP and up, you will effectively be doing things the same as, like, let's say you were 350, just like 0.5% faster or very minimally. Is it better? Yes. Will you notice a difference between like 350 and 390 at a cap spot? No, probably not. So just putting it out there. People don't have to scale their, like the party finders to be like, here, you have to be 390 AP. So just keep that in mind. That's why I was always saying that, like, I'm happy to help other people, and in the future I want to start doing more party bosses with people, even if you're like lower on the AP, like 320, 330, just so people can learn it, and I'm happy to help. So with that said, let's see. UI integrations, more UI changes. That's actually very nice, to be honest. And bug fixes and changes. Okay, so I don't know how many people have had this issue, but for me, I've had some more issues with my tier 10.5 Krogdalo horse. So I've always used the Ardenaut, the Pegasus, right? And sometimes when I fly like I go from land to the air, and then I try to double dash it, sometimes it doesn't double jump in the air and glide. I don't know if that's me. I don't know how to replicate it 100% of the time, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I might just have to make a video and send it to Pearl Abyss, because that's one of those things that like literally only they can fix. All right, so let's see. What is changing? You know what I really want? Let us put our like new Krogdalo horse into Krogdalo Sanctuary. Literally makes sense, and I don't understand why they don't do it. Okay. Krogdalo has been improved to prevent it from turning into DNA in shallow water. I noticed that issue. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I'm glad it's being fixed. Chain his wind wings after a triple jump. Is this it? I'm not too sure. I think this might be it, but I don't know the skills exactly. I'm gonna have to do some testing. But if this is a change, like actually fixed, that's huge. Powerful leap in so it's like fly into doom abilities. Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks in a row that they've made Krogdalo changes, and this is something they really should have tested before releasing it, because I don't even think it takes that much effort, because all you have to do is change some abilities, and people would have figured it out on like before it even got released. All right, what else is holy? This is a lot. This is a long bug fix list. That's actually good. Fix an issue with Enslar. Self-applied buff was 1 below 30. I haven't done this into hard mode yet. I've done it into the story, so that's kind of good. Fix an issue where the Orbita Tomb of Light were intermittently become inactive. Dude, this spot is kind of hard. Like, how do I describe it to people who are like not there yet? So kind of like all tower spots, you know, you kill enemies and then some like mechanic or boss happens. So there's pillars, right? And usually the grind itself is fine, but then once you get to third pillar and then like they all group up and explode, that will actually do a lot of damage no matter how good your gear is. Like, I'm not fully capped. My DP is beyond lower. That could be it. But also at the same time, it's like this, I think that one might need to be toned down a little bit. Like, people can do it just fine, but like the first time you do it, I guarantee you like 9 out of 10 people are going to just get clapped, even if you have like 10,000 health, because you don't know what you're doing. It just does a lot more damage. And keep in mind, this is with 1 Edania piece of gear, full tet, and like the damage itself, like your AP, it feels fine. Like, that's not the problem. It's just things kind of do a lot of damage. So we'll see. Maybe when I get more Edania gear, we'll test it again. But until then, just be careful if you're grinding this. This is the 1800 Monster Zone spot, or the 380 one. It's kind of scary, actually. So, more bug fixes. The breath gauge can now be recovered using the quest. Oh, so these are all story quest fixes. Okay. Typos should have been, you know, what is a QA team for? Do they even have a QA team? And a lot of other just random things. Okay, well, a lot of these are really oddly specific. I think the big ones are from like various grind spots and the Krogdalo horse for everyone that has the sanctuary, myself included. I've noticed a lot of issues with it, but I'm glad. Yeah, I think this one is it, but I don't know. I'll wait till next week. Yeah, so overall, good change. We got class buffs and a new treasure item that unfortunately they weren't able to show like how it works. They're just telling us what it is right now. And then Lifeskill Crystals coming soon. That's always nice. And yeah, cool stuff. Anyway, very good patch, and I'm happy with it. So, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Peace.